Hey.
What up, great people? What's happening? It's your boy AD.
And it's your girl DJ Game.
All right, and we are trying to make sure that everything is squared away because we want to welcome you guys back to AD&D.
That right.
For the 99 and the 2000.
For the 99 and the 2000.
You understand me? So just give me a second.
We're trying to get the Facebook gang together, y'all. Just
right, because we want to get
wherever you. Oh, thank you, son. I appreciate you.
Listen, so
babe, you gotta come out of it. You gotta.
That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to tell you.
Go to the bottom. I was trying to help you. That's all.
Okay. And we are live.
That's right.
Making it happen.
Show enough.
Doing what it is that we do.
That's right.
So here we are. For those near and far.
For the 99 and the 2000.
For the 99 and the 2000. All right. And so, honey, tell them what tonight's topic gonna be.
Okay, so boom. I actually did not even think of no topic simply because we just coming back for real. So there's so much to talk about. Ain't it, man?
Yeah, it's actually a lot that we have not discussed. It's a lot that we have not discussed. It's a lot that we have had going on. A lot of changes, as you can see. Miss D decided that she was gonna shave her head. Unbeknownst to me, I just came home one day to find out, like, oh, okay, so you got a haircut. And it was like, yeah, she had a haircut. So I decided, I'm gonna keep my hair. I ain't worried about all that she got going on. That's what she wants to do, then that's what she'll do. So I'm just gonna play the supportive role, you know. And yeah, we support and stuff, you know. So that's what we're doing.
All right. So listen, welcome y'all. Welcome, and welcome back to AD Twice the Advice. So listen, y'all. We was on for how long? We was on for a while.
Yeah, a few weeks.
Yeah,
few weeks, you know what I mean?
So we went on a little bit of a hiatus for a while. I think it was pretty necessary. What you say?
Yeah, definitely got some things in perspective. Got a little bit of conversation and some things going. Did some networking.
Yeah.
Some regrouping and strategizing. And I'm grateful for it. I'm happy that the wife and me, the family, we were able to kind of get some things straight. We had a little touch of COVID, had some mental circumstances that we needed to kind of clarify and rectify, get our spirits right, praise Jesus.
Hallelujah.
And all that good stuff like that there, you know what I mean? And we're back, you know, back and better, and doing what it is that we do. So we want to thank you guys for continuing to subscribe, continuing to follow, continuing to support, and even reach out. You know what I mean? Plenty
Absolutely,
of you guys that have reached out. And we missed y'all.
For real. So it's been several weeks. Oh, first things first, let's make sure that we address the new night for Twice the Advice.
That's right.
We had to make some changes to our normal to do whatever. And now we're going to be back with you guys on Thursday nights instead of Tuesday nights.
Most definitely. Thursdays will be what it is. We'll be coming to you live from IG, from Facebook, and of course the YouTube channel, making sure that you guys can get right back in tune with us with what we are doing on Thursday nights with Twice the Advice. So the wife and I have been dealing with some miscommunications and some differences in opinion when it came down to where we needed to focus our energy.
Agreed.
So now that we have kind of like revamped all of that, we decided Dola Dola.
What up, Zulu? Hey, Leroy.
Okay, we decided to focus, keep each other connected, and just kind of like emphasize on the things that were important with us. You know what I mean? Like our square, our house, our business, sweeping off our own porch, getting our own children in order, and doing what it was that we needed to do around our house.
Absolutely.
What the commercials say, our house is the greatest one of all. Our house, you know what I'm saying? So we had to kind of like really like do that. It's really important for people to be willing to step back, evaluate themselves, check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Absolutely.
Focus up, and any energy that is not needed to be dispersed on people and circumstances that don't matter or that are not important, you just got to kind of like
X that.
Yeah, you got to let it ride.
So he's absolutely correct. One of the things that actually was a driving factor in us kind of pulling away from the channel, pulling away from our lives was one of the things that we always want to do when we're reaching out to you guys and sharing with you. We want it to be very genuine content. We want to be able to come from a very genuine place, and we're not afraid to share our ups and downs, so to speak. But not everything that you go through in a married couple should be shared with everyone.
That's right.
So we kind of have to cocoon ourselves for a little while and really kind of bond, right? And evolve as a unit to really come back stronger.
Definitely.
So we are back and we are definitely stronger. We've been able to really close some necessary chapters in our life and begin to open some new ones, which we're really kind of excited about. But it takes time to get all of that stuff together.
Yeah, and we're gonna share that stuff with y'all when the time comes. But as for right now, we're just kind of like welcoming you guys back into a day in the life, and
of the gang.
Appreciating you guys, loving on you guys the way you guys really love and support us, man. Like,
and it's true.
Seriously, we have seen some people and passerby, and they're like, hey, what's up with you guys? What's going on with the channel? Yeah. I'm watching. Yeah. I'm all caught up, and now it's like I haven't seen you guys. What's going on? So looks like we getting a lot of love from Uncle Jay. That's and, right. and Dr. Horton. We appreciate you guys, our family up in upstate New York.
That's right.
And
thank you guys so much for joining us. We cannot thank you guys enough. There's so many times that either he or I, or even there's been a time where the both of us considered not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
You guys really keep us going. We share small things that we've kind of gone through, and people are like, oh my gosh, why don't you share this with people? Oh my gosh, why don't you put this out in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So this is our way of kind of sharing with you guys a little bit of us.
Really and truly, man, listen, I'm just kind of like happy to be here with you guys, to be here with my wife, to kind of like be able to say like we had a reset, not a setback, but a reset. Absolutely. We really just took time to reset things and revamp things. We may not end up going live as often. We may end up actually doing some pre-recorded shows, and then there'll be some editing and different things that'll be taking place. We still have merchandise, still have plenty of shirts that will be on the market most definitely. So stay tuned to that, and we hope to see some more faces in some more places with our shirts and giving their testimony and input on what it is that they've been dealing with and how they've pulled through it.
For sure. Testimonials are coming, so I know that you guys have heard us talk about it, but we have put together some stuff that is going to allow some of the couples that we kind of look up to. And hey, if there's a couple that you look up to and you would like for their story to be shared on AD&D, shoot us over that information. We would absolutely love to have them on the show. One of the things that motivates other people is seeing people make it work. That's
Yeah.
right, Uncle Jay. You guys got 30 years in the bag, and I can't wait to have you guys on the show so they get to meet you and hear some of the things that you guys have made it through, right? Your ups and your downs.
Man.
And you only share your downs so that way people know that some of the things that they're going through, they're not alone. Right?
Right.
They're not alone. They're not the only one who's ever experienced it. And things are not always up, even if it looks like in the pictures that it is, right?
One of my main things that I always focused on and repeated to my wife throughout the years of our relationship is that I want our marriage and our relationship to be as genuine and to feel as good as it oftentimes looks.
Yes.
If it doesn't feel as good as it looks,
he doesn't want anything. He doesn't want anything to do with it. And I'm totally okay with that because a picture's worth 1,000 words, but you may look at a picture and see joy and happiness. But if the people that are in it don't feel that same way, then it doesn't matter what it is that you're feeling about it. You know, you have to allow that person to really kind of work through that themselves. So we are embarking on our 10th year together.
Somebody say yo. 10 years of this shit that we ain't quit.
Yeah.
Praise goodness. Okay. All right. 10 years of this shit that we ain't quit. Okay. Right. So we getting our hammer time on. We too legit to quit.
All right.
We are doing what it takes, man, to try to
make this thing work.
Make this thing work, keep our family intact, keep love alive, and just kind of like learn each other as we continue to evolve. I've changed, she's changed, our love has grown more profound. And I feel like that's the way things should be. I feel like love should never really dwindle. And even when people say, oh, you know, it's no love lost, it's not that it's not a love loss. I think it's more so of the fact of, you know, not having the same degree of respect or reciprocity. So when it's like that, you just gotta kind of you know, communicate. Communication is so essential to a relationship, man. Any relationship
of any sort,
a business relationship, a personal relationship, a marriage,
yes.
Colleagues, close friends, even family.
It takes lots of work.
It takes communication to be able to see where each other coming from in those perspectives. And that's something that I'm going to be working on myself. And as well as we're going to be bringing some of the children in because we want you guys to have a different perspective, take a different approach. And it is taking a lot out of me to be able to kind of handle myself accordingly in circumstances where I'm not the most comfortable or where I feel like something has rubbed me wrong.
Absolutely. But one of the things that I really kind of enjoy at this point as we're gearing up for our 10th year together, I enjoy looking back at where we were 10 years ago. I enjoy looking back at where we were 9 years ago. I kind of reflect year by year at the grace that we've been given and how far we've come from where we began. And I recently had a conversation with the kids that was actually a little different, but the undertone or the underlying message was one and the same, is that you have to always remember where you came from to really be able to appreciate where you're at and where you're going. So I look back I look back at where we began. I look back at, you know, we're at 10 years now. So I look at our halfway mark, you know, and I look at how we've evolved individually as husband and wife, as well as mother and father to our children. So it is definitely so fulfilling to be at this point and to be able to look my husband in the eyes and kind of see that like joy seeping through to kind of come through to me. He doesn't have to say it, but I can feel it. You know, it's very, very fulfilling to get to that place because I can't speak for him.
She just trying to get some draws. That's all.
I'm not for him. I can't speak for him, but I can say that at one point it wasn't like that. At one point, it didn't feel good. It there wasn't a lot of joy in it. I didn't find a lot of happiness, and so it is so great to see that not quitting really does make a difference.
That's right. And yes, of course, you have to keep it spicy and full of surprises, and not those kind of surprises that a lot of people deal with the side dudes and the side chicks and all of that different stuff.
No
That comes
entanglement.
along with integrity and self-discipline, self-control.
Yes.
And let me tell you something. The relationships that do not have self-control, they are looked at and viewed so differently.
Uh-huh.
I've had people where it's like, um, oh well, I got a boyfriend, and a dude will be like, well, hell, I bought a goldfish. And be like, what does the goldfish have to do with me saying that I got a boyfriend? I thought we was talking about some shit that don't matter. You know what I mean? Or oh well, I got a wife, and she's like, well, I'm gonna have a test tomorrow. It's like, well, what does that got to do with anything? Shit, I thought we was talking about some shit we was thinking about cheating on.
Right.
So when you look at the people, and then even though it may sound really slick at the tongue, and it's like, I ain't never heard that one before, but what you put out is what you're gonna get back. And not only that, it's tiring. You know what I mean? Like, it's really something that really just chips away at you as a person in character. When you continue to kind of like put out that same circumstance of things when it comes down to other people and foolishness and trickery and deception, all of that mess, man, you bring that not only into your relationship, but then you bring it into your household. You bring it into your finances. You bring it into something that literally takes root to all of the things that you consist of.
I love that you made mention of that because as you were saying that, I thought about T.D. Jakes' book. I don't know if you've ever read it, Woman, Thou Art Loosed. And I know it seems like it would be a book specific for women, but it's not. There was a message in there that was so deep that I caught years and years and years ago, where it talked about how we always talk about karma, right? And you ever notice how a lot of people do such horrible things, and oftentimes it's as if they live such full and happy lives, right? However, when you bring it into your household,
Mhm.
you may find that you don't fall victim to your circumstances, but your children fall victim to your circumstances. They reap the karma that you never received. And for me, understanding that I don't want my children to bear sins that are not their own.
That's a good point. I feel like two people that I ain't never seen lose a fight. That's karma and concrete. When they catch you, you gonna feel it. You understand? So I had to mature a lot in this relationship. In my marriage, definitely was something that was necessary for me to mature. But I don't keep company with a whole lot of nothing. I go to work. Excuse me. I come home. I'm with my wife, with my children. I enjoy my time with my oldest daughter, all the way down to my baby boy. The baby girl is not here right now. We miss you so much, Kate, but she'll be back soon enough. And I even spend time with her. She talks to me all day. She's like, Papa, blah, 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 blah. She calls me and she's just
all day.
running her mouth talking to whoever, and I'm just on the phone just talking to her. She's like, how many cars did you pick up today? Whose car did you pick up? What houses are you near? Let me see where you at. And, so all of that stuff like kind of keeps me, energized and keeps me grounded. Beyond the fact that I want so much better for myself, that I finally figured out that you got to be a pretty tough guy to get up and go get that stuff. Like, I had a conversation with a good friend of mine. It's like, that's my brother, and he's locked up. He's incarcerated. And I told him, I'm like, while you're sitting down right now, if you don't have a plan, if you don't put something into motion right now, when you get out there, you're not gonna exceed not even your own expectations, but you're literally gonna find yourself in a quarrel of how you're gonna get just the essential things that you need. You're guaranteed two things coming out of that situation. And yes, even though you being locked away is unfortunate, everything that you need is given to you. You got lights, you got water, you need a tooth pulled, they're gonna send you to the dentist. You got all of these different things that you know you are not responsible for.
Mm-hmm.
But the real battle comes when you get on the other side of that wall. The real battle comes when you have to figure out in your own mind, is this stuff worth me continuing to keep myself associated with? I'm tied to certain things because of how I think or how I express myself or how I interpret things.
Yep.
So going back to what I was saying about the perspective, we're grateful that we were able to take some time off, revamp things, get a different perspective on what it is that we want.
Yes.
And I'd be damned if we ain't attacking it day by day. And we're
Every
going at it
single
together
day.
the way that it actually should be
Absolutely.
for us to be an example of what it is that we are talking about. And we're not just talking it, but we're actually putting it into action.
And I can't miss the opportunity to make
More
mention.
so than before. Excuse me.
Show up. But I just don't want to miss the opportunity to say, I hear the word manifesting a lot. Am I the only person that's happening to? If you don't mind, just drop it in the comments. You've been hearing that a lot. You've been hearing the word manifesting a lot.
I've been hearing that this is the year right here. Like,
right.
There's so much that is going to happen this year. So much that is happening this year. And I'm just kind of like, I'm not so eager to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more so
eager to
live it.
All right. So I think it's funny how that seems to be the mood. Mm-hmm. Manifesting seems to be the mood. In 2020, I had a conversation with my husband and a few close friends, and I said to them then that 2021 was going to be the year of manifesting. Right? Mm-hmm. It was going to be the year of the things that we have thought, the things that we have fought for, the things that we have really kind of tried to change ourselves to see. This is going to be the time where it really kind of comes to life. Mm-hmm. Right? All of this, God blessed me with seeing last year. So everything that's happening right now, things that have not even come to be yet, I know that they're coming because it's already been revealed to me. So I have read the book, The Secret, right? Love the book, The Secret, where it talks about how you can truly create your universe by not just speaking what it is that you want, but thinking about what it is that you want. Mm-hmm. And the time that my husband and I spent kind of like off scene, we did a lot of pouring into each other and really kind of shape shifting the way that we talk and shape shifting the way that we think about the things that we speak before just putting it out there. And it has been really, really, really awesome, to be able to shape shift and really shift that paradigm all over again. Right. We did that years ago, and now we're doing it again, where we're now really walking completely by faith, because a lot of the things that we're speaking into our existence, we can't see.
But they're happening. We're waking up every day to new blessings, to new beginnings, to the cup being full and running over. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, wait a minute, like, is this what it took for us to get to this place? I read it was a Facebook post, man, and I sent it to my wife, and I was like, yo, like, okay, I think this year right here, I want to show the most amount of optimism when it comes down to what it is that we're going to be doing together. We're either going to do this thing and get it right, and like, I mean, like, make it happen, or we're just gonna have to accept the fact that our time may have run its course. And it's no malice, it's no hard feelings. I have nothing negative to say.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say negative about you.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for you. I
Yeah.
want us to be the best of friends.
Yeah.
I want us to be the best of this. I want us to be the best of that. And it doesn't have to be that way with us not being together.
Right. Absolutely.
It can be that way with us being together.
Correct.
So I was like, you know what? Like, I want this, and you want this, and okay, we don't have to compromise about those things. Right. But what if we compromise about everything else that we really don't understand, or everything else that we haven't really been so sure about in communication?
Correct.
And I don't know, man. It's like
it just changed.
Something must have just clicked in the both of our heads.
Yeah, but I think honestly, and I shared that with him, and then he turned around and then flipped it on me and was like, "Just watch your mouth." And I was like, "Who are you talking to?" But he told me, we made a decision that we were going to speak only what we wanted. Nothing that we didn't want, only what we wanted. And he's kept me true to that. And there's been times where he's kind of slipped up and I've kept him true to that. But it's really been helping us to get through all of what we've had going on. And I hope that you guys can really see and continue to understand that AD&D Twice the Advice is really coming to you to really bring to you some genuine real life relationship, family, stuff.
No, get no realer than this.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Because I know for us, we struggled for a little while finding people who genuinely wanted to give us pure advice with no ulterior motives.
Yeah.
We struggled with that. So, we don't even have to know you or your situation. I'm pretty sure that there's something that you're going through or that's something similar to like what we've been through. And it's totally okay to ask a question. And even if you want to pose it like, Holly, I have so missed you too, sweetheart, for real, seriously. However, we really want to help you in any way that we can. It was because we were doing that off social media platform that we were like, you know what? Why don't we
think it's time to
why don't we take it
back?
Let's take it to the next level. So we are so glad that you guys are back with us, still willing to tune in with us and just kind of hear us out. We are seeing things in a whole new light. And if there's anything that we can share with you that'll help to change or really
give you a little bit of insight.
Yeah, uplift whatever situation it is that you may be facing, because nothing that we give as far as advice goes is ever going to be in a negative fashion or ever going to be with any ill intent or ulterior motives. We just want to see other couples happy. And that's just it, I'm hoping that we can really kind of take this thing to the next level. The kids are super excited. Kids are super excited to get on here and share some stuff with you guys.
It has been a journey, and with them included, because they're like, Mom and Papa, they're doing this, they're doing that. But then, Papa say something and then she's all pissed off, or he's pissed off and he's walking around and they slamming doors, or this, that, and the third. And then it's like, not to say that you're not going to deal with things, but it's never what you go through, it's how you go through it. You know what I mean? I learned that from my bishop, my mama, my spiritual mama. I learned that. And I had to carry a lot of different circumstances and situations without feeling. Even though some stuff made me feel some type of way, I had to be able to identify good and otherwise emotions.
Yeah.
And how to separate that, because I came to a point where I was like, you know what? I ain't got no business having more feelings than I do funds. I got no funds, so I can't have all these feelings when it comes down to so much stuff. So I started focusing on just in the smallest place, just trying to be consistent and you know, positive about my own financial situation, what I wanted for myself, what I wanted to be able to bring to the table, what I wanted to be able to produce, what I wanted to be able to spend, how our budget would increase, how our savings would increase, how we would be able to not be like the 97% of America that can't afford a $500 emergency.
Yeah, that was a huge
Like that was
discussion for us.
Yeah, that was a no-go for
It
me.
was like,
So
you know what? No, this is not
yeah,
gonna
so
work.
from there I was like, no, I'm gonna be that 1%. If that's what it's gonna be, I'm gonna be that 1%. And if I'm gonna be that 1%, I'm gonna take you with me. We're gonna share that together.
And I loved every part of that discussion because it was everything that I had been trying to convey. But he said it like he took the words like out of my heart and just kind of put them, out of his mouth. And it was great because, unbeknownst to him, but for me, it was like, man, my prayers were working because these were things that I was no longer attempting to say out of my mouth. It was just those intimate conversations that I was having with God when it came time to pray for my husband, over my husband, about my husband and my marriage. And so to hear him say things like that really has meant a lot. And he can attest to probably more than I can the shift in energy that he's gotten from me since then.
Most definitely. Prayer is definitely something that you have to have in your house, in your finances, in your marriage, and you have to be stern with it. You got to step out with that. If you can't teach your children to pray, make sure that they know the importance of doing such. And when you initiate it, you'll see how they follow through. I mean, just my the other day, we were able to kind of close the chapter. We had a whole bunch of things that we needed to take care of, and wifey stepped up. I mean, like she stepped up, she bossed up like in a major way. And I was actually really proud of her because I'm like, man, you know what? Now you get to see what I be dealing with. Now you get to see why I moved the way I moved.
Okay, so
how I'm able to get some
I'm
things
not gonna
done.
go into detail, okay, y'all. But I'm just gonna share with you this one thing. I was stretched so far.
She called me boo-hoo crying.
I literally cried. I could not keep myself together. And I was like, I don't understand how you do this. Okay. And I just realized just how spoiled I am. And I just need you to know that.
And when she said that to me, that within itself was like, back to that Facebook post, right?
Oh, gosh.
It said, sometimes it will take you 10 years to get to that 1 year filled with what you've always wanted.
Crazy.
And I was like,
that sounds crazy.
So I'm like,
that sounds crazy.
Damn, it's gonna take me 10 years to get the kind of communication in the bad juju and everything else. And I'm just like, bruh, you know what? But then I started thinking to myself, and I'm like, when it comes down to like credit and stuff, right? It's like anything that was 10 years, like 7 years, but 10 years, it's like no longer considered delinquent.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's wiped away.
Clean.
So I'm like,
you know what? They might be on to something.
I've said a couple things to her. We've had a few conversations. Maybe, just maybe,
we might be on something.
Number 10 is going to put us at our top of 10.
So no.
And I'm like, all right. So look, I ain't finna worry about what you doing. I ain't about to worry about how I can try to make you happy, because happiness is so temporary. But if you're satisfied, that within itself is something that you can share joy.
But one of the things that he and I didn't even realize we struggled with during the course of all the time prior to leading up to our time where we really had to pull back from you guys, was that we had some things that we need to deal with within ourselves.
Yes.
That's just it. He had some things that he needed to deal with himself, and I had some things that I needed to deal with within myself. And during that time, we both, it was understood. So it didn't have to be explained, where we really just kind of gave each other the mental space, not physical space, but the mental space to really just kind of deal with ourselves. And it was the most pivotal
in our
time in
relationship,
our entire relationship,
from
not just our
dating
not just our
on.
marriage,
Yeah.
just it's been the most pivotal time. And so it is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing. So I just wanted to read Holly's comment real quick because we're actually going to wrap up not long from now. So Holly said, y'all are definitely one of the reasons my marriage is thriving right now, and and you will never know how grateful I am to you both. Holly, listen, I just want to let you know that we can only imagine, because you call us a little less now, and I see lots and lots more pictures of you and hubby, and I know for myself, I'm happy, I'm grateful, and I'm glad that we were able to share something with you that really made a difference for you.
There we go.
All right, so we're not going to read this one out loud, but we got a little situation here, so we're going to get quiet for a second. We'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
Yee. Oh gosh. Okay, so I'm gonna take a jab at this one.
You can, because I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to keep it all the way funky. My mother-in-law is not a fan of mine. And I don't care. At one point, I felt like it was so much of a necessity for me to make her happy and to have her approval that I forgot about so much that she doesn't know about who I married and how I needed to make sure that I had her approval. So, and nothing negative to say about my mother-in-law. You understand what I'm saying? She's a person who's made decisions and mistakes. I'm a person that has made decisions and mistakes. But at the end of the day, we're two people whose common ground comes to where we both love this woman without a shadow of a doubt. So I've had to bite my tongue, grin and bear. I've had to be uncomfortable. I've had to have some uncomfortable conversations, but I definitely had to do some growing up. I had to do some growing up, and I had to do some sacrificing, and I had to do a whole lot of shutting up. Growing up equals shutting up, knowing when to respond, what to respond to, how to respond to it. And really and truly, I would never make her choose between me and her mom.
That's actually a part of what I was getting
Period.
ready to respond and say. Um, I don't feel that either your spouse or your parent should put you in a position where you have to choose between your spouse and your parent. I'm going to tell you my take on it. They both have their significance, as they should, but a parent should understand the 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 true significance of your partner. Um, I think that may have a little bit of something to do with maturity. It could be with you, it could be with your spouse, it could be with your parent. I'm not fully aware of the situation, but there may need to be some conversations that need to be had. If you understand that your husband has some valid points about not trusting your mother in particular, then I think you may want to have that uncomfortable conversation with your mom and make sure that she understands that your husband comes first. But she's still just as important for whatever days of her life that she has left on this earth. It would be more important to make sure that it is a comfortable and conducive relationship that the two of you can have, more so than making her focus between herself and your spouse.
So I'm glad that you said the things that you said. And I'm just going to touch on a few things really, really quickly that we've had to deal with. And we have completely, had to downright shut down. Respect by association. Respect by association will lead to people disrespecting your spouse. One of those reasons, and the biggest reason, which has become a pet peeve with me, as well as with my wife, don't give people the fuel. Stop telling people things that happen with your spouse in your marriage or in your partnership for them to feel some type of way about your partner, which then gratifies how they express themselves when it comes to your partner. If you tell them, not saying that you don't discuss what it is that happens. If something happens or something is happening that needs to be discussed, by all means, I am not encouraging you to uh shut yourself in or
do never alienate yourself
thank you. Thank you.
from anyone,
Right.
for anyone.
However, be very discreet. Use discretion when it comes down to your circumstance involving your spouse. Always remember, if you say something, it's not the same when she says something or when he says something. They will respond very similar to what it is that you say behind closed doors. Your spouse is not there to hear those conversations, but when they hear those things said, people will react or respond according to how they feel they can respond or react. So you have to make sure that you're careful. You got to be careful.
So there is a very, very fine line. Some of you may know, others may not. This is not my first marriage. In my first marriage, I made the mistake of not saying anything. I said nothing about anything that happened. And so when, the pot was boiling over with everything that was going on, everyone thought that I was, this psychopathic, I don't even know what to call it. Because it was as if don't start your stuff with me. It was as if
I don't need no problem.
You don't want no problem.
I don't need no problem.
It was as if I was making these things up to kind of substantiate what's been done. And I learned the hard way that that's not necessarily the way that you want to go at it, but there really is a fine line and a balance that you have to find between sharing certain things. If you're like me or like most of us, we get to a certain age and coincidentally our mom becomes our best friend. She's our go-to for stuff.
I've been telling my mom all type of stuff for the longest. I mean, shout out to my mom because from the time that I realized how much of a cheerleader she was for my wife and myself in our marriage, um, I told her all type of things. But I mean, from when I was young, I told her all type of stuff. I talked to my mom about sex. I talked to my mom about sexual experiences. I talked to my mom about um, emotions. I talked to my mom in anger, frustration. I talk it out. I have to get that energy off me. So I will, say what it is that I feel like I need to say or communicate with who it is that I need to communicate with. I might hurt your feelings. I might say some stuff where you might be like, wait a minute, baby. What did you just say? Like, can you run that? Just rewind one more time. However, it's important for me to say those things, but I've had to learn to refrain from saying certain things and expression because it doesn't change the views that I have. I can say, oh, this joker, this, that, or the third, and so on and so forth. And I still love her and I still care for her. But when you say that to your family, they don't have the same interpretation.
They don't have the same.
They don't have the same feelings. They like, wait a minute, you just said this, that, and the third. Like, I thought it was F them. We not. It's no F them. We not done with that person. You're not. Oh, you just stupid. Oh, you just stupid. And then it's like the little boy that cried wolf. They don't want to hear it anymore. They don't. But the thing is, all is fair in love and war. And like the best piece of advice that I can give you is you have to be direct about it. That's the person that you chose. That's the person who has your heart. That's the person who means so much to you. Let that be known and let that be law. And by no means, don't accept any disrespect
at all.
Not even in the smallest, most subtle
at all
way. when it comes down to who it is that you chose.
Correct. And that will definitely make a difference in the way that that person then in
It gives
turn
you a level
responds.
playing field.
Yeah, to your significant other. Listen, you guys, it has been like such a phenomenal time catching up with y'all. I'm not gonna tie y'all time up on this beautiful Thursday, but listen, catch us again. I'm not sure when. In between now and then.
Yeah, we might post a little something just to get y'all
in between now and then
back up on cue, and we're gonna do some catching up, man. You may even see us in some individual sessions. Absolutely. Where we're just trying to share some other perspectives with you guys. But most importantly, man, we thank y'all. We love y'all. We're so happy to have y'all. And we're so happy to be right back here with you guys.
Absolutely.
Joining us once again, AD and
it's your girl T. Stop playing.
For Twice the Advice.
Shut
it's
up.
A wonderful thing. It's a great privilege, man, to be in front of you guys, man, just talking about our relationships, talking about what it is that we have come from and what we learned. And man, we just want to say, man, it's all love. And until next time, peace.
Good night, y'all.
Who is that?